Hello, pilots, and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have an Imperial versus Republic matchup. Looking like it's going to be quite an interesting game. We have some very interesting lists on the board, and today I am joined by...
Hi guys, it's Amy. It's great to be back.
Hi Amy, welcome back. For those of you that are very observant, you'll notice that it is actually myself and Amy playing as well. So again, going to be a really good fun game. Did you want to go through your list, Amy? Because it's not something you see very often, and I quite like it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, to be honest, this is the first time I've ever flown it, and it was really good fun. So we have got a triple lambda list. So we've got Captain Kargi with the Iron Cannon, Emperor Palpatine, targeting computers, and ST-321. Of course, Captain Kargi is the Emperor's shuttle pilot, so I thought they would be quite nice to go together. Mm-hmm. Then we've got Colonel Jendon, who is Darth Vader shuttle pilot, and of course he's got Iron Cannon, Darth Vader crew, and a targeting computer. And then Lieutenant Sai in the third lambda with Iron Cannon and targeting computer, and that is very full 200 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy that you've got 3 lambdas on the board, and I'll tell you what, the lambda definitely is one of those ships that benefited quite heavily from the 2.0 update, getting that rear firing arc as well. I think that really was something that was missing in first edition.
So, yeah, I agree.
Especially because they can't turn around very quickly. So the ability to have that gun at the back is very good. So going up against Amy's triple lambda list, I have a triple arc +1 list. So I actually have Click in the V-Wing, running R4 Astromech, Alpha 3B Besh, thermal detonators, and Deadeye shot. We then have, in the first Arc 170, we have Jag with veteran tail gunner. We have Squad 7 veteran with veteran tail gunner and advanced proton torpedoes. And we have another Squad 7 veteran, again with veteran tail gunner and advanced proton torpedoes. A slightly leaner 198 points here compared to Amy's 200 points, but it's going to be an interesting one, this. 3 arcs versus 3 lambdas. I don't even quite know how this is going to work out, to be honest.
No, I mean, it's been a few weeks since we played, and I can't even remember myself how it went. It was huge fun, though.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I find quite interesting about this is the fact that the ships that we have the 3 of, they're not that different in their profiles. So 6 hull, 3 shields for the arcs, and you get that additional shield on your lambdas. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how it goes there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is it also 3 dice out the front, 2 dice out the back for the lambda, and 1 evade token? Evade dice even?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, 3 out the front, 2 out the back, and yeah, just 1 evade.
Yeah, so quite similar profiles. I think the dial is where it definitely does become a little bit different, because the Arc 170 does have the 4 K-turn, which is something that, I mean, if a lambda could K-turn, that would be really scary.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, yeah, it'd be quite cool. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure if it tried to do a move that fast, it would probably lose a wing somewhere.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So looking at this first opening, you've got very widespread there. You're keeping your guns quite all over the place there. That's... I don't like it.
Yeah. I wanted to, I think if I remember right, I wanted to try and stay as spread out as I could, purely because I didn't know where you were going. So I thought if I stay quite wide across the board and then just do a slow maneuver forward just to see if I could get an idea of where you're going, because usually, like, you know me with my TIE swarms, I like to go in very fast. I thought to myself, no, I'm actually going to take it slow this time.
Yeah, I don't think a lambda is a ship you want to get in super quick, and you also, especially with their dial not being the greatest dial in the game, you need to give them a bit more room to maneuver. I mean, looking at Colonel Jendon right now, attempting to go through that asteroid field, essentially, that's going to be quite a tricky area for him to be in.
Yeah, I think I probably should have put Jendon right at the top and Lieutenant Sai a little bit more into the middle, because of course his pilot ability is after you perform a coordinate action, if the ship you chose performs an action on your action bar, then I can perform that action. Of course, he's right at the top of the board. It's going to be very difficult for me to get that coordinate to the other guys. I mean, it's been months since... I don't think I've actually flown the Lambda until this game, since version 1. So it was a bit of a learning curve, but it was still massive amount of fun. But yeah, Jendon going through the asteroid field, looking back at it, I think, that was a bit of a mistake. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, as some large base ships, you can get away with flying through an asteroid field. The Lambda, not one of them. I mean, even with the Arcs, I think they've got for a medium base ship, they don't have a terrible dial, but you still don't want to get them stuck in a tight spot like that. I mean, fortunately, I've got quite a good little bit of space there for my Arcs to fly through, so hopefully they won't suffer too badly there. So, beginning of the game, obviously, have you flown against the Arcs much at all?
Yes and no. I have, since we've played through Out of Arc Gaming, I've played against the Arcs a hell of a lot more. Whereas back at the studio in person, I've only maybe flown against them once or twice. But they're always very difficult but interesting to go against.
Yeah.
Because Arcs can be quite difficult on occasions to try and take out.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a fair amount of hull on them as well, which is pretty good. I mean, who would you say your first target would be then?
I'd say Jag.
Yeah. I mean, he's got great ability on his pilot there. So, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Arc, Jag has, after a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 in your side Arc's defense, you may acquire a lock on the attacker. So that is why Jag is tucked in quite nicely in between the two 7th Squad veterans, and they're the ones with the advanced proton torpedoes. So if your opponent is not familiar with Jag's ability, it's quite nice if they think, oh, he's a named pilot, I'm going to shoot him first. So you can really pass off those target locks there. Or you can bait with Jag and have him a little bit further ahead, as long as your squadron are sat next to him within the side arc. It's really quite handy there. But I'm not going to lie, staring down those Lambdas, I think I've done something similar to this before with, maybe not the Arcs, but I swear I've gone toe to toe with a Lambda before, and I don't think it came out so well for me that time.
No, and these two have got Force as well, so of course it's Palp and Darth.
Yeah. And even that ion cannon is something that I'm wary of, because you just don't want an Arc ioned. They can get off the board so easily if you get that just right. Ooh, but that's a nice move there from Click, getting right beside Lieutenant Sai there. So grabbing a target lock. So it's quite nice. You've got the Force users right next to each other. So it'll be interesting to see how many times you can trigger Vader to cause some shenanigans there.
It's definitely one of my favourites to use.
Yeah, and I think we're just checking there for that Vader trigger. And yeah, I think you just clip. I swear we were mentioning this in the last video, how you always seem to manage to just sneak into the right range you need, either for like that extra dice or just to get something there. So That is a shield down on green there, as he had no green tokens by the look of it. Not entirely sure why he didn't have any green tokens this round.
Did you do a target lock?
Yes, I can see.
Yes, it's underneath the wing.
Yeah, I can see the target lock hidden right about there, so that would explain that. But we're going to get our first shot coming in, and it looks like it's going to be from Kagi. And that's a hit crit there, so 2 more shields going down on green. See, that's the thing. Those lambdas, they can still hit quite hard, and especially when you've got the force there to help you modify.
Oh, yes.
And firing a target lock there. So we've got Click going in at Lieutenant's side. Nice range one there. Spending the target lock. See if we can get as much damage in as possible quickly. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I think right idea to spend the focus. They're just 2 shields down there. Considering you've got no attack coming back in, unfortunately. I think, again, it's nice having that sort of dual arc, like back and front, but if you can't turn it, it makes it a bit tricky, and you can get caught out, especially on those large base ships.
Yeah.
I've managed it a fair few times, actually. But going back into green. Does green offend you or something? I'm curious. You seem to be putting a lot of hurt into it. That's two hit points in on green.
I think it was just more the fact that you didn't have a token to change things with.
Ooh, actually, that was an ion there. So 1 hit and 1 ion from the ion cannon. So again, with ions, you will score a hit on the first one, and then the rest will turn into ion tokens. And now we have green going in on Kagi. With the clone shooting at the Emperor, that doesn't seem right to me, does it? I mean, surely they wouldn't want to be shooting at the Emperor.
Maybe they're rebelling like Bad Batch.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it was a whiff there, so maybe he realised that the Emperor was on board. Check and see if there's any target locks there. Nope, we're going to spend that focus and get 2 hits. Do we see a trigger of the Emperor there? Yep. So using that force, just 1 hit. I like that they fixed the Emperor's card after they sort of made it a bit iffy at the end of first edition. So now it is more like it was before. You just use it as a normal force token. Oh, that's a good hit there from Jag. Hitting 2 crits. Well, the crit won't get through because you've got your shields there, but there you go, there's an evade, so 2 shields off. I think what we're quite likely to see is a lot of hit points going down quite quickly. I think right now we've got an in-close little battle there. I think it's going to be quite brutal.
Yeah, I've got that feeling as well.
And then we might just see like Lieutenant Sai and Click dancing around a little bit up there. Although you're in quite a nice position, you could probably, if you moved Sai just right, you could probably keep that rear arc on him, and then he would have no choice but to get shot at. Again, a really nice thing that you've got there with the Lambdas with that rear arc. So back to dials. And this is going to be quite tricky, actually. Especially with how close those arcs are to Kagi. I definitely foresee some form of bumping coming on here. Unless you pull a stop maneuver.
Yeah, I can't, to be honest, I honestly cannot remember what I did, whether I did a stop to try and get you to do a slow maneuver towards me. Sai, I'm pretty sure I did something to come down to the board and still have clicking rear arc.
Mm.
And Jendon, maybe a slow maneuver forward to go between the asteroid and the debris.
Well, there was his side turning down into the board, hoping to get a bit more into the action. And looking to coordinate Jendon there. Again, just sneaking that range 2 in. So the margins of error that you managed to pull off with your ranges is just absolutely crazy.
It's all just pot luck as well, because I never actually plan it. I just literally wing it and hope for the best.
Sometimes it's the best way. So getting that target lock there on green. Again, I think he might be your target at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the Lambda does not have target lock as an action on its dial, on its card natively, does it?
No, you have to put on the targeting computer upgrade. Of course, being at 200 points, I did not have the point spare to do it, so that was an error putting that target lock on, and I think we've just taken it off.
Yeah. Also, yeah, because obviously I think you still need to be in range as well, but obviously we've noticed that you don't have the targeting computer, so you can't actually assign that, which I think is interesting that the Lambda does not have a targeting computer. So it's a little bit unexpected, to be honest.
Yeah, did they have them in version 1?
That is a very good question, and I am not 100% sure. I have all of the cards still upstairs in one of my folders, but I don't know if I still have a version 1 app which I can check that on. I don't. Let's have a quick look and see.
Can't remember if they did or not. I mean, I know that with the ST321 upgrade, I know from version 1 you could get a target lock anywhere as long as the ranges didn't come into account on it.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with the ST321. Yes, it did. In fact, the actions on the bar in version 1 was the focus and target lock. So interesting that it did lose that again, especially given the ST321 title on there. It does seem like an interesting choice, but we do have some target locks coming from the arcs into Kagi, and that is a bump into Jag, which I'm not going to lie, is not a great position for you to be in right now.
No, however, I have still got a choice of green and yellow to shoot at range 1. Granted, it's not going to be modified in any way, shape, or form, because of course bumped, no action, but
yeah.
Also haven't got Jag shooting at me either, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Palpatine there, so hopefully that should allow you a modification. But what I'm looking at is a certain little upgrade that both these Squad 7 veterans actually have, which are extremely handy at range 1, which would be the advanced proton torpedoes.
Yeah.
This is like the most perfect ranging for it. That it's very rare. Like, it's very rare that you get this good a shot with 2 ships. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited about that.
It's not very often I go up against advanced proton torpedoes, so I think like I completely forgot about them when I decided to move forward. I was like, oh yeah, I've got those coming at me now.
Yeah. I think advanced proton torpedoes are great, but they're risky because you have to get into range 1 for them. There are certain ships which you can do that quite quickly, but other ships it's not as easy. I mean, it was quite a risk putting them on Arc 170s because, again, how they're not the quickest and most maneuverable of ships. They've got the barrel roll, but it's not something that you're going to guarantee getting in. I mean, I've definitely added to the option of it triggering by having Jag in there. So when he gets shot, he can pass target locks out. So that does help there. But let's have a quick look. So it is going to be Kargi to shoot first because you do have the initiative. So going in on green, I think you've got range 1 there. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we did double check it. I'm not entirely sure if we did need to check it. So this could be quite painful. That's a really good roll.
Oh,
that's a great roll. And that's not a great roll. This could be a bye-bye Kargi. Bye-bye 7 squad even. Let's have a look. And the last one.
Is it a double direct hit?
It's a direct hit. So that actually managed to take out the Squad 7 veteran. And that's why arcs don't like being at range 1 of other people. So that was an amazing shot there. I'm not going to lie.
At least there's one less advanced proton torpedo coming towards me.
But I wanted to shoot the advanced proton torpedo.
I know, but you've still got the other one to go at me. It's still getting to shoot it.
I know, but it would have been so much funnier to be able to shoot both at you. And further up the board, we got Click, who's just catching Lieutenant Sai in range 2.
That's close.
Yeah, very close. I think one of the downsides of the V-Wing is it's just the 2 dice. It's essentially a prototype TIE fighter there. But that's not too bad. Got the target lock, so... Nope, can't improve it. But can get it through. And you're flinging the shields up in the air there. So let's see, does Sai catch him at the back? Unfortunately not.
No.
So we can see Jag has no shots, he's bumped, so it is down to the 7 squad veteran with his advanced proton torpedo. Can he get some vengeance for Greeny?
Oh, I'm scared.
I mean, it won't be enough to take him out. He's got a lot of health there, unless there's a lot of direct hits in there. Oh, that's not bad at all. So you're going to spend the target lock. Oh, that's really good because advanced proton torpedoes allow you to change 1 hit to a crit. So that is 2 hits and 3 crits, so that's 3 crits definitely getting through the shields. Okay, so hit, crit, crit, crit. That's your shield. What crits do we get? First crits. Just wait for it to pop up on the overlay. Is a direct hit.
No.
The vengeance. The second crit. Come on, another direct hit. Do it. Is not a direct hit. It's a structural damage, so you've got no evade dice. And the final one is a loose stabilizer. So you need to do straight maneuvers or repair that. So wasn't quite able to get full vengeance, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be enough on there.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose with 2 health left, it's not the end of the world to keep moving forward with that crit, because I've still got my rear arc. Granted, it's not ideal, but...
Yeah, I mean, you can always just do... You've got to wait for the arcs to move first, but you can do like a 1 forward, repair that crit. You've still got Palpatine to be able to actually allow you to modify one of your dice, so it's not the end of the world there.
No.
I mean, you're probably quite thankful right now that you weren't taking a second advanced proton torpedoes, because I think that definitely would have been Kargi gone there.
Yeah.
But you do still have the numerical advantage, and you do also have Jendon and Sai able to come down the board. So, I mean, looking at it, I can imagine you're probably going to do some form of hard turn with Jendon. Sort of looking to come in maybe a 1 or a 2 down this way to end up here.
Yeah.
Which I think would be quite good.
Definitely a straight of some form of speed for
Kargi. You don't want to be giving up any more damage.
And I think with Sai, I think maybe a 1 bank to the right to see if I could be really cheeky and squeeze it between those 2 obstacles.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
There we go. A star maneuver there from Kargi. That was beautifully slotted in there.
Yeah. I've just had a mini flashback. I think I couldn't believe that it didn't actually land on the asteroid. I remember turning the table around just to double check it.
Yeah. I mean, that was very, very nice there.
That was
very
good.
Nice. Oh, is that a stop there from Jendon?
Ah, yes it is.
Ah. So hoping to catch click there in the rear arc. 4Ks from the arcs. And what does Kargi do we know? Oh, a stop maneuver.
Okay. Maybe I'm wondering if I could get the arcs out of my rear firing arcs from Kargi and Jendon.
I mean, you'll definitely have it at range 1. Now, I'm pretty sure that we did have a little bit of a debate here on this one with the loose stabilizer, because technically a stop maneuver is not a straight maneuver. So, guys watching this, obviously, pop it in the comments if that is triggered incorrectly. But let us know if we have done that interaction correctly. We felt quite confident that was the right case. But regardless, at the moment, Kargi's down to 1 health, and that loose stabilizer is now repaired because it's been actioned.
Yeah.
And that's a tricky spot for Click to be in.
Oh, yep. Range 1 out the rear arc.
Range 1 out the rear arc. And that's a Vader trigger on to Click. So bye-bye token. And definite range 1 from Kargi there. So let's see who you're going for, whether you want to go for Jag or whether you want to go for...
Yeah, Jag.
Go for Jag.
Might as well.
So, not the best roll, but yeah, I think it's worth spending Palpatine to push that damage through there. Okay, so 1 damage on Jag. Now, it looks like I've forgotten to trigger that target lock ability from Jag there. But we've got Click going into Jendon, so because of the position of where Sight is, having to spread his fire around a bit. But that's a great shot there.
Yeah, I have to admit that is quite good.
Oh, that's... not quite pushing the crit through there, but that is a really nice shot, if I do say so myself. So let's have a quick look. I don't think Sai is going to have arc, but
No.
Jendon will have a range 1 back at Click. Yep. So can't quite catch the arcs, but was... Oh, that's another great roll. These are some good rolls we're seeing here on the attacks. And, well, that's 2 shields down on Click, so that is not bad at all. So that is half points. You're racking up some good points there at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. And not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna get some points back here. But just checking, because they're both initiative 3, I can check which has the best shot. And it looks like we're going with Squad 7 veteran first. Now, that's a clever move there, if I do say so myself. Because Squad 7 only had Kargi in arc, it made sense to shoot with him at Kargi rather than going with Jag first, because Jag also has Jendon in arc. So now that, because if Jag had taken out Kargi, then Squad 7 would have no shot. So it's always worth just thinking about your shots there. So now we have a range 3 through an obstacle. This is the most dice you'll ever see for a lander.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's a great roll. 2 hits and a crit. These dice have been crazy. Oh, the hit crit goes through.
Oh, what's the crit? What's the crit?
Let's have a look. And the crit is... The suspense is killing me. I think that's another direct hit.
Oh, no. Yeah, it is.
Wow. I think we're getting rid of all the direct hits in the pack, though, so...
Yeah, it's a bonus.
I think I've taken a few tips from you and just got aggressive here. I think that's what I've done. We've swapped the roles around a little bit. But I think this round is going to be an interesting one for your moving, because you're in a bit of a pickle. I mean, having all of those obstacles around you
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking at it, I can imagine. I mean, correct. What blue maneuvers do you have for these guys?
It's really not very many. So it is 1 bank and forward and 2 forward for blue. That's it.
So, if you want to clear the stress, you need to be coming to with Jendon. You essentially want to be coming here or here, which is good. But then you've got to be careful for Sai, because Sai has got this obstacle here. It's definitely a tricky one for you there.
Yeah, I think it would make sense maybe to do a 2 forward with Jendon to clear that stress, and hope that maybe a 1 forward with Sai would get him in just behind.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because I'm wondering if that. Well, the 2 forward should clear, actually, if you think it was Sai. Well, with Jendon, then Sai should be able to sneak behind with the 1. Or it's whether you just say, you know what, go for it and just try and hard turn Jendon down.
Yeah, mind you, his only turn is like a 2 sharp and it's a red maneuver.
Oh,
so it wouldn't make sense to do it.
Fair enough. Well, looks like that's the 1 forward to clear the stress. It was a stop maneuver with Sai.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Which, you know what, kind of makes sense. I mean, you're keeping a nice, good arc coverage there. So, 1 bank from Jag to clear the stress. Will I barrel roll to try and avoid the debris field there? Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think this does mean that yellow is going to bump into the back of Jag. But I don't think there's really much I could do there. Yeah. Nice bump there from yellow.
Nice little arc conga line.
Indeed. I'm not gonna lie, I do love the Arc 170. I think it's a really cool looking ship.
The Arcs is one of the really nice looking ships. It's definitely one of my favourites, and yes, I'm a huge imperialist, you know me, and I love the First Order, but it just looks so good.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost a shame they didn't have the little S-foil vents on them open and close, but I can imagine that could get quite fiddly. But yeah, I just think that the Arcs look great. There's so much scope to do crazy things with like paint jobs on them. Ooh, that's a nasty position there with Vader.
Oh, Click.
I don't think Click's long for this world, but he does get to shoot first. So he's got his choice of targets. I think it's got to be a range 1 on Jendon, but nothing to modify it with.
No.
I think Click is becoming bait here. Oh, whoa. Triple crit. That is just rude.
Well, I cleared one of them.
You've evaded 1. But, I mean, we said last week in the final between James and Fergus that there were some incredible dice rolls in there, but this is just beyond. This is just crazy. So we've got disabled power regulator and a panicked pilot. That is not a great place for Jendon to be right now.
No.
Double stressed, and every time he engages, he's going to get an ion token. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I don't think he's probably going to last the 2 rounds he needs to get rid of that, but...
Yeah, I suppose that being ironed isn't a bad thing, especially if you're planning on doing like a 1 forward anyway, but it's still nice to have that choice of where you want to go.
Yeah.
And not be ironed. Ooh.
Well, go with Sai first. And looks like it's a range 1 at Click, which was just through the obstacle. Ouch. That's bye-bye Click.
Yeah, I think looking back on this, I made a mistake. I maybe should have done the range 1 shot from Jendon first, and then done a range shot from side towards the arcs. Because obviously there I've got no shots.
Yeah, it is one of those things of, especially if they're at the same initiative, always try and scope out what options you have with those shots and pick them wisely. I mean, here, again, I'm shooting with yellow first because the only thing he has in range is Jendon. So using that shot, which absolute whiff, so doesn't make any difference. But Jag could have got Psy. So if yellow had taken out Jendon, then Jag still has a shot. Whereas the other way around, it wouldn't have gone well. So let's see. Just the one hit. So Jendon will survive this round, but only just.
I can live with that.
Yeah, not bad overall. I mean, could have been better, but still not bad. I mean, again, that's one of the things with the Lambdas. They've got a lot of health to chew through, and you've taken out my more nimble ship there at the first opportunity when you could really rail in on him. You got rid of him, and you've got one of the arcs down. So.
Yeah, and the points are still really close as well.
Yeah, I mean, your ships are much more expensive than mine overall.
Yeah.
But still. So that's, I think, actually quite a sensible move there. And you do have the advantage that you have initiative, so you do still get to shoot before me.
Mm.
And even though, to be honest, they are the same initiative anyway, so it would have been simultaneous fire, but... it's a good little box of arcs you've got there. So that's the ion token being applied from last round when Jendon had it hit Jendon's turn to shoot, even though he didn't have a shot, he still had his engagement phase, so he does still get that ion. Oh, that's not bad from Jag there. Oh, and that's better. That's good from yellow. Does Jag have arc on Psy though? But more importantly right now, is Jendon Vadering? Yes, he is.
Yes.
And I'm taking the shield. I've got them to spare right now, so... So we've also got Jendon taking his shot first. Not bad. 2 hits, so definitely the final shield gone. Not bad at all. So shield and a hit. Not far off half points there. I think this might get you to half points, if not kill Jag. Oh, wow, that's a great roll. Okay, Jag is definitely at half points. He's now... You know, I can almost guarantee if one of those was a crit, it would have been a direct hit. I can almost guarantee it with the way that the direct hits have been coming out today. So let's have a see who Jag has. So Jag has... He's sneaking a range 1 in on Psy, or he just goes for it and tries to take out Jendon. I think it's got to be straight on Jendon, really.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one, but I think the better option is definitely going on Jendon. Hit crit. That's definitely Jendon gone.
Yeah, he's down.
What is the final crit for Jendon? It's completely moot, but was that a fuel leak there at the last one? So yeah, completely moot, doesn't do anything, but still, it was interesting. And we now have yellow going in on Psy. Is that obstructed? How many?
I think we ruled that it wasn't.
Right. Well, obviously, TTS would let you know, which is quite handy there, but it's just one shield. Now, to be honest, I think you've got a fairly good position here. You could quite nicely block those arcs and stop them getting actions. But it's also quite tricky for you because it's the way you want to try and position yourself, because you'll go first. You don't have a lot of space to move in there.
Yeah, I think it would make sense to maybe do another stop.
Or do the stop and then hope that you've got like a nice, you catch them in the arc.
Yeah, I think so, because I'd rather stop where I am and have a better shot at getting them than move forward and be bumped, or get closer to, or fly fast to go past them and be closer towards the edge of the board and not be able to turn in the next round.
Yeah. It is tricky. Oh, there we go. There's that stop maneuver.
Yeah.
That's something I'm kind of curious about. I'm wondering if they're going to do any form of configuration. Oh, 4K there from Jag. That's pretty good. I'm wondering if they're going to do any form of configuration cards for the Lambda, because I think it's another ship that's got a lot of potential. We could see alternative variants of it to try and make it just that little bit better.
Yeah, it'd be quite nice to see something like that. I mean, as it goes, up in my area, up in Lincoln, I'm not sure where it is for you guys down south, but the Lambda isn't all that popular to fly. I think I'm the only person in the studio that actually has one or two of them. It'll be nice to see them getting popular again.
Well, we've seen a bit of flight of them in the last couple of weeks, actually. They've got some good supporting capabilities for some of the Sky Strike. 2 hits there on Psy, both going through, but no crit, so he's still all right. But yeah, we've seen it flown fairly recently with, again, supporting some Sky Strike pilots. But I was just thinking maybe we could see a configuration to give it a bit more offensive capability, like the ability to equip missiles or even bombs would be quite interesting. I mean, we haven't really seen a huge amount of what the ship from Bad Batch can do, but it is an Omicron ship in Bad Batch, which is the company that makes the Lambda. So maybe we could see some configuration cards that will cross over into the Lambda when they bring out that ship, potentially for Republic, potentially crossing over into Empire, given the timeline.
Yeah, it'd be quite nice to see. I mean, to be honest, with Bad Batch, they're badass and they do pretty much anything and everything from what we've seen. So it wouldn't surprise me if they've actually gone and fitted some missiles onto their attack shuttle. Just proving that it can be done. So yeah, a config to have missiles or bombs on the Imperial Lambdas would be quite good to see.
Yeah. Ooh, and just clip that debris field there. So let's see. We don't want to see a crit. And we see a crit. That's just the way this game goes, isn't it? So clearing the stress, regaining the stress, taking a crit. But you've got a nice position to block yellow or not. That is sneaky.
That's good.
That is very sneaky.
So we've both got each other at range 1.
Yeah, there's a couple of range ones there. I think that if it was Jag in front, I think we'd definitely see Jag going. But unfortunately, I think we might be about to see Sai biting the dust, I'm afraid. But can he get as much damage in as possible? I'm just hoping that you don't decide to go for the no iron cannon. It's just straight pain here.
Yeah, it looks as if I am.
So let's have a look. Oh, and that's only 2 hits. No mods because of the stress, but
They'd go through.
Yeah, go through. And I debating spending the focus, but I think I only took 1 shield there. It should have been 2 shields taken there on yellow. But I don't think it's going to have much of an effect on the both, though. But 2 hits coming back into Sai. There's an evade. So you could do it, but we do have a range 1 out the front from Jag, so that's 4v1 with a focus. It's tense. Oh, spending that focus, that is guaranteeing it there, unfortunately. Oh, but he got the evade at last, so he's only just taking it down there. So quite a quick game there.
That was good.
But I'm not gonna lie, it was quite fun. It was really nice seeing 3 lambdas on the board. Like you don't see that very often at all.
No, it was a good fun list to play, and as we saw with some of them dice rolls on both sides, just epic seeing the amount of hits and crits going round.
Oh yeah, it was, as is always the case with any game that you seem to be involved with, Amy, it was truly violent.
Yeah.
The pain being thrown around there, and for that, we enjoy it. So that is good. I mean, I think we discussed it earlier. I think what could have helped was maybe having Sai in the middle instead, or at least a bit closer. But I mean, they did okay. I think the advanced proton torpedo was the biggest one in there, which was what caused a lot of difficulty for you, I think.
Yeah.
But all in all, that was a thoroughly enjoyable game.
It was. Did we vote after the game to say that we would do a rematch of this? Shall we do a rematch of this?
I mean, I'm up for a rematch of this.
I'm up for a rematch of this.
Okay. So I think, guys, we're going to probably end up having a rematch of this. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we'll be able to get that up for you as soon as possible. But I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Amy, until then, I just want to say thank you very much for coming along and playing the game and joining me for the commentary for this.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been great to be back, and as always, it's fun playing and commentating.
Absolutely. But guys, again, thank you very much for sticking around and watching the video with us today. As always, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell. And we will see you next time.